this was the first kind of like an invitation that went out, now open to for the children to work. You can see Arto's sketch of the reindeer off the entranceway. It's evolved into something else. You can see White Face Mountain in the background. That's a 1939 copy. I was still in the Navy at that time. I was given a couple of weeks leave to be transferred from one station to another. And so I came home and all this activity was going on. I said, is there anything I can do to help Dad? He said, here, you can do this. He gave me all these posters. It says, come see Santa at the North Pole. I thought it was kind of silly because after all, I'm 24 years old and from around New So anyway, he says, go out and put these posters any place you can find. And so I went out and tapped with the telephone poles or sites of buildings or any place I thought was appropriate in probably a 20 or 25 mile radius. And that was the first advertising and the only advertising we had for several years with these posters we put out. And so I remember that. The first visitors coming up the highway were greeted by these signs. Must have looked pretty strange to people who knew nothing about what's going on. They would see a sign like this, and then it says, see if animal friends alive. And finally, keep right to the North Pole. That must have been a shocker to people from Kansas who were driving. But anyway, it seems to have worked. Because the people did come. There's that gateway that finally evolved, soon we'll have it back. You can see the style of the automobiles that were the latest models at the time. And that parking lot was just dirt. And of course, again, every time we had a heavy rainstorm, we had the parking lot went down the mountain. So it had to be. Now, here is opening day, and here's the first batch of visitors to see Santa Claus. This, and in the next few pictures I'm going to show you, there's one thing that remarkably stands out. There's no children. Yeah. It was just adults. In 1949, families were not yet following World War II or anything else. Young families were not really into this summer vacation mode yet. But of course the seniors were. And they came in and they saw those crazy signs and all this, and they said, well, what could this possibly be? And so they came in. And
what did you charge back then to get out?
Oh, it was, I think it was 80 cents. And children over 90 and under 10 were free. Now here's another picture.
One kid up there.
Yeah, a huge struggle. As you notice, it's mostly adults that's coming to see Santa Claus. Yeah. There's another. I'm always struck by the woman here in the front. It makes me think of Eleanor Roosevelt.
Yes.
It's a kind of hat she wears. But again, where are the children? One little girl over there by the chapel. Possibly a little boy. But again, you can see this is early years because you had those lunar moves for the rainstorm. Here is a crowd. Now you're seeing a few more children in here. But this is just typical of the kind of crowds that can come in the village. They can stay in the village for probably 40 or 45 minutes. In, walk around, walk out. And look at it and scratch their heads, just trying to figure out why anybody was doing this. But I guess they spread the word pretty well because the crowds kept growing. And we talked about that. Initially, we didn't have any mechanical rides. We never planned for the village. We never anticipated doing that. They did have pony rides. Now that's probably my little sister Patty's doing because she was very much into ponies and horses at that time. And that stayed with her throughout her life. She was a pony and horse breeding and training farm she has in Connecticut. That's where she's done most of her life, so horses have been, she got a start there. Here is Governor Lane came the first year to see what all this commotion was about. And again, you see Santa has a beard that's sort of hanging from his head, and that's Gilman Fountain there. The children are some of Howard Fortune's nieces. From the earliest years, everybody, the spirit here was everybody does whatever job has to be done. There's no saying it's not my job. Here we have Harold Fortune dipping ice cream cones, and John Zaki over on the right. John, an interesting story about John. John was a man who represented several souvenir firms in New York City, and he was up here looking around the area for possible clients, customers, and he was on his way up to Face Mountain where he heard that there was a gift shop up on the top of the mountain, souvenir shop, gift shop. So he was on his way there when he saw this construction going on here, and said, "Remember what this is about?" And he came and asked, and the first question he said, "Well, where are you going to do your merchandising?" Merchandising? Where's your warehouse? You don't know. So none of that was in the original plans. They eventually got there. But in the opening here, the reindeer barn was the old merchandising facility. And what the little basement of the toy shop, which is over here, a little small room, that was the office and warehouse. There was a room about half the size of this one. And that's what they started with, was walnut chickens. But there they are doing what has to be done. In this case, they have a nice